My doctor stared at my blood work for almost a full minute without saying anything. Then he looked up at me and asked, "What on earth have you been doing?" I hadn't taken a single new pill. I hadn't joined a gym. I hadn't touched a green juice cleanse or a fad diet from the internet. All I had done was eat the way my great-grandfather ate on his farm back in the 1920s, for 30 days straight. And what happened to my cholesterol, my blood sugar, and my energy levels surprised even the man who'd been treating me for years. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why a way of eating from 100 years ago might be one of the smartest things you can do for your health today. Let's go back for a moment. Picture a farmhouse kitchen before sunrise, the smell of wood smoke, a cast iron skillet already warming on the stove, no refrigerators humming in the corner, no boxes of cereal lined up on a shelf, no plastic wrapped around anything, just real food, grown a few steps from the back door, prepared by hand, and eaten together at a table with people you loved. That was daily life for most Americans in the 1920s. Farming families made up a huge share of the population, and whether they knew it or not, they were living a lifestyle that modern science now tells us supports a longer, healthier life. This video isn't about glorifying hardship or pretending the past was perfect. It's about noticing what our grandparents and great-grandparents got right, almost by accident, and bringing those pieces back into our modern lives, especially as we think about healthy aging, senior wellness, and simply feeling good in the decades we have left. So here's what I actually did. For 30 days, I ate the way a farming family would have eaten in the 1920s. That meant real, whole ingredients. Eggs from actual hens, vegetables pulled from the ground or picked from a vine, meat in smaller portions than we're used to today, often stretched across stews and soups, whole grains ground the old-fashioned way, butter and lard instead of vegetable oils, almost nothing from a package, because packages barely existed the way they do now. No sugary drinks, no snack aisles, no fast food on every corner. Just simple meals, prepared slowly, eaten without screens, usually with family nearby. The first thing I noticed had nothing to do with my blood work. It was how different mealtime felt. There was no scrolling through my phone while I ate, no eating in the car. My meals became something I actually paid attention to. And it turns out, that alone carries real health benefits. Researchers who study mindful eating have found that when people slow down and pay attention to their food, they tend to eat less, digest better, and feel more satisfied. Our farming ancestors weren't trying to practice mindfulness. They just didn't have the option to eat any other way. But the result was the same: slower eating, better digestion, and a more peaceful relationship with food. Now, let's talk about the food itself, because this is where things get interesting. One of the biggest myths floating around today is that fat is the enemy. For decades, we were told to fear butter, eggs, and red meat. But the diet of a 1920s farmer was full of these foods, and heart disease at that time was actually far less common than it is now. That doesn't mean fat alone is a magic fix. What it does suggest is that whole, natural fats eaten alongside fiber-rich vegetables and without truckloads of added sugar behave very differently in the body than the ultra-processed foods that dominate grocery store shelves today. My own blood work backs this up. After 30 days of eating this way, my triglycerides dropped, and my good cholesterol, the kind your heart actually wants more of, went up. My doctor's best guess was simple. It wasn't the butter. It was everything I wasn't eating anymore. No soda, no packaged snacks loaded with refined sugar and inflammatory oils, no mystery ingredients I couldn't pronounce. Here's your one takeaway from this section. You don't need to fear natural fats. You need to fear the ultra-processed food that so often comes packaged alongside them. Let's move to the garden, because this is where a lot of the quiet magic happened. In the 1920s, most families grew a portion of their own vegetables, and what they ate changed with the seasons. In summer, that might mean tomatoes, beans, and squash. In winter, root vegetables like carrots, turnips, and potatoes stored in a cellar. This kind of seasonal eating naturally created variety in the diet, which modern nutrition science tells us is incredibly important for gut health. Our gut is home to trillions of bacteria, and the more diverse plant fibers we feed them, the healthier that internal ecosystem becomes. A healthy gut has been linked to better immunity, improved mood, and even sharper brain function as we age. During my 30 days, I ate more different vegetables in a single month than I normally eat in 3. My digestion improved. My energy leveled out. I stopped getting that heavy, sluggish feeling after lunch that so many of us just accept as normal now. The takeaway here is simple and doable, no matter where you live. Try to eat a wider variety of vegetables each week. Ideally, whatever is in season near you. Your gut will thank you, and so will your energy levels. Now, let's talk about movement, because 1920s, farm life wasn't about gym memberships or fitness trackers. It was about constant, natural motion built into the day. Feeding animals, hauling water, tending crops, walking distances we would now hop in a car for. This kind of movement is what researchers today call incidental exercise, and it turns out it may be just as important for longevity as a structured workout. Studies on some of the world's longest living populations, often called blue zones, show the same pattern. People don't necessarily go to the gym. They move constantly throughout the day in small, natural ways. Gardening, walking to see neighbors, doing physical chores well into their 80s and 90s. During my 30 days, I didn't add a formal exercise routine. I simply moved more naturally, gardening in the mornings and taking walks in the evening instead of driving short distances. My resting heart rate improved, and I felt noticeably stronger climbing stairs. The lesson here isn't that you need to become a farmer. It's that finding ways to move your body throughout the day, not just during a single workout, can meaningfully support heart health and healthy aging. There's another piece of farm life that's easy to overlook, and that's sleep. In the 1920s, without electric lights blazing all evening, and without screens glowing late into the night, people generally went to bed not long after sunset and woke with the sun. Their bodies were deeply in tune with natural light cycles, something scientists now call circadian rhythm. We know today that poor sleep is connected to almost every major health issue we worry about as we age, including heart disease, memory decline, and weakened immunity. During my 30 days, I made an effort to dim the lights in the evening and put my phone away earlier, much like a farmhouse would have gone quiet after dark. My sleep quality improved significantly, and I woke up more rested than I had in years. You don't have to give up electricity to benefit from this. Simply dimming lights an hour or two before bed and reducing screen time in the evening can help realign your body's natural sleep rhythm. Let's talk about something just as important as diet and movement, and that's connection. Farm families in the 1920s ate together because there was no other option. No one was eating alone in front of a television. Meals were social events, often extended to include grandparents, neighbors, and extended family. We now know that social connection is one of the most powerful predictors of long-term health and even longevity. Loneliness has been linked in research to increased risk of heart disease, depression, and cognitive decline, while strong social bonds are linked to living longer, healthier lives. During my 30 days, I made a point to eat at least one meal a day with someone else, phone away, real conversation happening. It changed the emotional tone of the entire month. Food started to feel like connection again, not just fuel. If there's one habit from this whole experiment I'd encourage everyone to bring back immediately, it's this one. Share a meal without screens, with someone you care about, as often as you can. So what did 30 days of eating like a 1920s farmer actually do to my blood work? My triglycerides dropped, my good cholesterol rose, my blood sugar stabilized, with far fewer of those afternoon energy crashes I used to blame on getting older. My resting heart rate improved. And honestly, my mood and mental clarity improved just as much as any number on a lab report. My doctor didn't tell me to abandon modern medicine or pretend we should go back in time completely. What he did say was that so much of what we call an old-fashioned lifestyle actually lines up with the cutting edge of nutrition science today. Real food, natural movement, deep sleep, strong human connection. None of it is new. It's simply been forgotten, buried under convenience, marketing, and modern busyness. Here's the truth I want you to walk away with today. You don't have to move to a farm. You don't have to give up your car or your electricity. But you can borrow pieces of this lifestyle, one at a time, and let them quietly transform your health. Cook one more meal at home this week using real ingredients. Take one more walk instead of a drive. Dim the lights a little earlier tonight. Share a meal with someone you love, without your phone in your hand. Healthy aging isn't about chasing miracle cures or trendy supplements. It's often about remembering what worked all along and having the courage to bring it back into your life. It is never too late to feel stronger, think clearer, and add good years to your life, no matter your age today. If this video brought back a memory of your own, maybe a grandparent's kitchen, a family garden, or a meal shared around a table with no distractions, I'd love for you to share it in the comments below. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to read today. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and consider subscribing for more videos on healthy aging, longevity, and rediscovering the wisdom of the past to build a healthier, richer future. Thank you for spending this time with me, and I'll see you in the next one.